Your Excellency, Comrade President Jacob Zuma, and Madam, Honorable Ministers here present, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. South Africa and Zimbabwe, very excellent relations historical, relations geographical, relations territorial, relations even marital. We still owe cows, of course. And relations economically. President Zuma spoke of the need for us now to work for our poor people. He spent many years from an island, many years abroad. We interacted as representative of the ANC, Mkondo Sizwe. Back home, delivered under the leadership of Madiba, a new dispensation. It was a political dispensation. My minister, Comrade Bima, spoke of our Zimbabwe endeavor to free ourselves. A number of leaders now gone. Comrade Joshua Nkomo, we call him father of Zimbabwe. Mzenda Msika, JZ, and on both sides, yes, the political leadership, the fighters now. Mkondo Sizwe, Zibra Zanla on the other side. And the strength and the force of those was always the people. The people in South Africa supporting Mkondo Sizwe. The people in Zimbabwe supporting the Chimrenga. The people. We delivered the wish of the people 1918 as independence came. The wish of the people was delivered here with a new political dispensation, 1994. What President Zuma was emphasizing was that we delivered political independence. We did not deliver economic independence. And that was the story throughout Africa. People were politically free. No apartheid, no racism. Yes, you couldn't be arrested for nothing. We were being arrested for nothing. Robben Island, full of people arrested for committing no crime. Back home, we have hundreds being bombed, thousands actually, in various camps, Zambia, Mozambique. Innocent people, refugees, some young, some old. They were not all military fighters, no. Just refugees, killed for no crime. So we delivered political independence. You are surprised, I'm sure. We did not control the economy. We couldn't deliver the freedom. You had no power. You were not owners of your natural resources. Others, the very people we fought against, remained in control of our economies throughout Africa. That's the story. And that is why there is no industrialization anywhere in Africa except what was done here, South Africa. But that industrialization was done in the interests mainly of the whites. All our minds controlled, not even by locals, local whites, by outside. You talked of standard. You didn't know who Standard was, who is the owner of Standard Bank. I don't know, I can't tell you. But I know the country. I don't know who Barclays was or is, but I know the mother country. They control us to this day. We haven't delivered. Not even. Yes, we took the step because we negotiated it at independence at Lancaster House, the land should come. The land should come into our hands. And Margaret Thatcher had agreed that there should be that land reform. And we embarked on it in accordance with the Constitution. We took it from Ian Smith and company. Rhodes was now long dead. Long live dead Rhodes. Others still fear that, we have the grave. We can't say you merely have a statue. We'll fear that he would rise. If people don't rise from statues, they rise They rise from graves. And our young ones have insisted that we remove their grave. But you can't, if you remove the bones, surely the hole where he would have laid will remain. And I don't know whether his spirit, when the bones, it's only bones we will be removing now. But the spirit is gone or it's somewhere afloat in our country. Anyway, these are the people who led us, and here, naturally, he did also lots of harm to your diamonds. By hook or by crook, he was always the winner over all the other competitors in Kimberley. No one could beat Rhodes. Cheating at night, removing, the pegs. And so it's there in writing. He was doing that to enlarge his claim, the area of his claims, and fighting over it with others, discovering the pegs had been moved to narrow their own, claim areas and widen his own. And who could defeat him? He had all the support and so on. When he died, he had that, a lifa of 7 million. Not to us, not to the Africans even of South Africa, where he had got his wealth from. But now, to benefit people of the world, students, they can come from Nigeria, from any other white countries to go to Oxford, but not blacks, not blacks. The black man is on his own. So there it is. And our Zim asset recognizes that the agenda shall be a sustained agenda of adding value. But alas, add value to what? You don't add value to somebody else's natural resources. We must own the natural resources first. Make them our own, hence indigenization and empowerment. You indigenize. Take and make. And when you produce now, you are producing from your own natural resource. And we have said, of course, in our case, it's much simpler than in your case. But the more intricate the system, the greater the fight required. And when it's a people's fight, you can never lose. You may suffer losses along the way, but it's a moral fight. The goal will be victory. Victory for the people. So in our case, natural resources, the mines, the land we have taken, agriculture. There are white farmers, they are still there, but no longer as owners of the land. All the land belongs to the state. They will farm on the land as they are doing and produce now. As people, some of them have the citizenship, produce for the state and not just produce for the little clique of 250,000 whites which is the number they were at most. So there has to be at the base of beneficiation ownership by the people, hence indigenization and empowerment are a very vital tool. And this is what we would want you to consider. And consider very seriously, I want to thank the business communities, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and even the 50 who represent those Zimbabweans doing business in South Africa. At this one, we are all one. President Zuma is celebrating soon his 73rd birthday. I've celebrated my 91st. And here we are combining our forces, 164 years. The weight of that on the decisions you're going to take cannot be overhauled by anyone in the future, can it? So we promise you, your decisions, as long as they are in accordance with the principles for which we have fought, will have the weight, current weight of 164 tons. We are not taking now the weight of those who fought with us, who are no longer with us. But we represent them, the two of us. I don't know whether you would allow us to represent the future. We say no. The future generations, they will have to look at us and say, did we give them the correct basis, foundation on which they can stand as they move into the future? So we are happy to be with you. And it gives me the great pleasure to address all of you gathered here today under the banner of the Zimbabwe South Africa Business Forum. A forum which I hope will not only be for this occasion as an important part of my state visit here, but will become a regular mechanism for structured interactions between our business communities, including our public sector representatives. We are hoping we can use it also as a springboard for getting our African territory to do the same. We tell you, independence is only a half measure in most of our African countries. Some don't even control a bit of their natural resources. Go to Gabon. All wealth that lies underground belongs to France. That's the agreement. And it is so in other Francophone countries. Oil, they discover oil, it belongs to France. They discover diamonds, they belong to France. And the miners will be naturally French. And what apportionment you are given, perhaps 12% of the earnings from oil, 15%. It's terrible. Equatorial Guinea has come out of it, and they describe to us what is happening to their neighbors. And that's why one coup after another, coup attempt after another, you see, is tried. But unfortunately for them, they have had the wisdom to know in advance that the Spanish, the French, and so on are arranging these coup d'etats. But the issue is to put them, just to remove the leadership, so the West can control. You saw what happened when they can't remove a person, have a person removed by his government, by his people. They contrive put together some concoction of lies. He is oppressing his own people. He's killing his own people. Gaddafi. We must prevent him from killing his own people. Go to United Nations and have proof of crying Libyans, oh, this man is killing us. And you believe the tears? No. They are induced. False tears. They have been bought over to get the world to believe that true, this man is oppressing his own people. And NATO is given the go-ahead by the Security Council. They get the 2/3 majority. And their aim, first objective is to hunt for the leader, Gaddafi, even for his children, and try to kill them. And they succeeded, killed members of his family. He tried to hide, but they caught up with him and pretended that it was one of his own people who shot him. The same story had been told about Saddam Hussein in Iraq. And there the lie was that he had weapons of mass destruction. Poor Saddam Hussein. They have the bombs of mass destruction. And they come to Saddam Hussein in Iraq and say, oh, he has guns, terrible ones, which kill people massively. He tried to say no. Bush went to the United Nations. The United Nations said no, you can't attack. Then he said, well, we'll go, whether the United Nations likes it or not, with or without the United Nations, we will go to Iraq. That's the bully that America is. So they bullied their way. And little Blair also following. I follow my leader. I follow what America does. Yes, I'll be with you as an ally. So they went to Iraq to hunted him. Yes, he was in a hideout somewhere. Eventually got hold of him, and we saw him being taken away. They said he had been tried and found guilty. Guilty of what? Of ill-treating his people, and he was hanged. Bush and his brother had a company sucking oil in Iraq. At the end of the day, they said, we made a mistake. He did not have weapons of mass destruction. You see, damned imperialists. That's how they want to do it. Even Blair wanted to attack us. Your people have not told you that. They don't frighten you. He came here, the government, I think Thabo Mbeki was in charge. He said, no, give us the country so we can have our soldiers here. He said, no, others also said no, Botswana included, to attack Zimbabwe and remove Mugabe because we're taking land from the settlers against his will. He wanted to stop the agreement that we had gone into with Margaret Thatcher, reverse it. It was Labour, you see, and Margaret Thatcher was conservative. So, for one reason, he did not appreciate the law of succession in international law, that you succeed to the debts, liabilities, and assets, you see, of your predecessor government. But no, what we want to do, we shall do. That's Bush and Blair. And who in the world can stop us? Well, our two governments, we are governments that come out of bitter struggles. Just remember the suffering you had and under the apartheid regime. Yes, at the end, when victory was now certain, they say they had abandoned the apartheid. It was not Christian. But you all these years, you had not read your Bible well? Okay. As long as you will agree to be ruled by the majority, fine. So, you had a lot of mercy. Perhaps we say an overdose of charity. In other circumstances, those others would have, who were guilty of apartheid, would have been tried. But we also, having promised and pledged during the fight that we will wipe them out, but also we had a touch of Christianity. And even Ian Smith, we allowed him. And even allowed him to continue to sit in Parliament with his party. Well, the Constitution, the British had said, the Rhodesia Front, the whites will have their representatives alone the Constitution stated that their constituencies will not be contested. The whites alone should be left to have 20% of the House of Parliament. That is 20% out. That is 20 out of 100. Blacks could not contest. It was a racist provision. But Nkomo and I said, fine, since it had just a duration of 7 years, we can allow it to run for 7 years, and after 7 years we will amend it. So after 7 years we said, no, Ian Smith, that the racial representation is gone. And an amendment was done to the Constitution. We abolished the 20 separate seats, but the whites could contest like anyone else. So there you are. This is what those before us did. But compare what we have done to them with what they did to us. But we said, fine, we are a charitable people, African people are charitable apart from the Christianity, and let's live as peaceful people, all of us. Reconciliation, we had it. Here you had it even, I think, statutorily done. So we have reconciliation. We want peace. We have said to ourselves there was no need to fight anymore because there is now peace. But this did not mean that there was no need to equip our people, to give them power, to give them the right of ownership over their resources. No, because that was the objective for which we fought. We didn't just fight for the vote. We fought for you to have the freedom to use the natural resources as your assets in business. Land, institutions of government should lend you money to start business on a non-racial basis and not discriminate. Even Standard Bank in here, Barclays, I don't know, Barclays had run away from here. They come back, I'm sure. But they went to Ian Smith. They were in Rhodesia. We found Standard and Barclays. They are still there. They are still the leading banks for that matter, because they have resources internationally. They can trade internationally. So these now should be the means available to you all in order for you to start your business. But the political environment is free. Government will regulate, obviously. There are certain fundamentals. If it's to be ownership, African ownership, black ownership, it must be truly so. The story of groups visiting the president in his province of KwaZulu is also true of us. People come and say, where we have put together our group. We have a claim, a coal claim we want to mine. And they are young blacks. They look very zealous and very determined. Have you got engineers? Yes, we have an engineer who worked for that Rio Tinto or some other company. Mining engineer, yeah. And who is he? Sometimes just a white man. And when they say that they don't have money, of course, and then you discover, they have whites behind there, just a front for the whites. That we don't want. If you're going to have a front for the whites, don't hide it. If they are to be partners alongside you, we find we will not say no to that, to proper partnership. We have just now started mining our diamond. And government is supposed to, the first mines, those who started, we had not established our Indigenization Empowerment Act. It's 50-50. And government is supposed to be represented by individuals who are really alert people. You say, yeah, you are quite well educated, skilled, you represent our side. This is the Chinese side. They have 50. And what do you find? Practically in every case, our side just folds its hands. And all the management is done by the other side. But what is it? It is that kind of partnership we don't want. We would want to see, if you're representing the government, that you truly are in the management. You truly are also aware of the processes of the mining system. Right up to the time, if it's mining of diamonds, to the time when the diamonds then are selected, and it's a very, very intricate manner. You must be there. And you must be there when then the evaluation is done as to which diamonds are gem and which ones are industrial. But we are, I'm afraid, not getting the services that really please us. Then, of course, it's not just when we say we want to indigenize. The companies which exist now, foreign companies, are not the only ones we want to address. We would want you to establish your own companies, completely African. We've had some approaches from here. Approaches prominent people from South Africa. And it's recommended even by members of government, by members by the ANC. We say, fine, come. What is your partnership? Who do you have? We have some Canadian from. What Canadian for? So, let us, as we decide to have joint ventures, South Africans, Zimbabwe, have our own, entirely our own manpower, entirely our own banking resources, financial resources. If you put yourselves together and you're viable as a mining entity, you have skilled personnel,